Hey guys, um, hey Peter, Fridge, g'day, Frank Ward, hello. Oh, I'm feeling a bit sleep deprived tonight. Um, Too old for all this stuff. It's been a big week so far. I realised I've only got half the stuff that I was expecting to bring out here, so give me a second. Yeah, I'm back. Mark Osborne, good day. Ross Nespelt, good day from Australia. So, we've been doing stuff in the workshop, even though the workshop's not yet really livable, to be honest. We're still emptying boxes and things as we go, and still spending 20 minutes looking for things when we need them. I needed a wobbler for a centre finder on the mill the other day, yesterday, and spent an hour looking for that. That's how it works. But we're getting there, I think. Sat down and put squares on 4 bits of brass bar for something that looks hopefully something like that with the cast lever on it for the drain cock. I don't know what to do here. Probably the neatest way is to tap these and put a set screw in them. That's probably what's going to happen. They could be peened over or they could be silver soldered. Oh crap. What happened there? Dropped one of them. Don't know where. Went somewhere. We'll pick up the next one. Yeah. So set screw in them. They've still got to be machined to match this on the bottom. So probably I'll face these off next and put a centre hole in them, set them up and thread them. And then we can put this taper on here. And they'll start to look something like. So they're looking good. They're the drain cocks for the Fowler roller. There's one there. Goes through there. And they sit on about that angle so that the plug's vertical. And this lever goes on here like this. Or actually on this particular one, which is off the front right hand side, it goes something like that. And this lever operates the other drain cock, and this one runs the lever across the front, which operates from the other side. It's all a bit Heath Robertsonish, but should be all right. Anyway, some progress on them. That's what we've been doing. Been messing with the mill, and then the electrical switch, the magnetic press button switch has finally died after about 70 years, with bits of broken Bakelite and stuff in it, and it's not contacting properly. It's just not staying in contact, so probably going to have to upgrade that this coming week, so that's another job. James, g'day. So that's going to be a job next week. See how we go. Jeffrey Irvin, good day. I was over shopping for bits for milling machines and things. Picked these up for fridge. So present for you, fridge, at some point. I think they're the right size. It's a box of cup washers for the interior panels on the Bedford. They weren't very expensive. But probably easier to get in the big smoke than down your way. There's actually some progress happened on this little engine, which is that I shouldn't do this, but I am. This is the Paul Breach little brother. We've got a set of castings for here that are sort of partly completed, so I can make some progress on them and not actually feel like I'm starting fresh into something, I guess. So, been messing with this part, which is actually set up out in the mill, and I should take you out there and sort of show you, but it's a bit complicated. I think I go through Joe's bedroom or go around the outside and unlock it and all that sort of thing. It'll take me 15 minutes. So, been working on this, and James, I hear you. This was bored and faced on this end. Not particularly well or particularly accurately or to size or anything. It's a bit of a nuisance. Because someone's bored it reasonably nicely, but then they've faced this here and it's overlength on here, right? And no one's machined this part, these two faces here, which are the reference surface. They bolt on here, probably. And that gap in between goes in there nicely. So, as a result, we've got a bore and no reference surface. So, what I've done is I found a mandrel, because this is 6 hour under, so I had to modify a mandrel. To fit it, then we set it up, and I machined this end, and I machined this end length, which is all an arse about face really. And then I've machined these two reference surfaces, this one and this one, in there, and I was going to last night drill these 4 holes and take it out and bring it in and show you. But it didn't happen because the switch is blown on the mill, so it's going to be next time. Machine this face for the fan. And it's starting to look right. Drill these 4 holes and drill and tap this hole and this hole and this hole, and this part's sort of finished. So that's what I've been messing with, actually, just slowly. Still lots of stuff to put away here. Monday night after work, I thought, well, stuff it. I've got this steam engine in the back of the car, Now, I had this steam engine in the back of the car, and I think I might have told you about that. The week before last, the car was being serviced, etc. Some mechanical work, so couldn't show you then, and I've got rid of it now. So, I had a Ingalls, I think a T Ingalls, American built, probably 3-4 horsepower. Stationary steam engine. Maybe it's brake horsepower, not nominal horsepower, and it might be a 6 or 7 horsepower or 10 horsepower. I don't know how the Americans work it out. But it belongs to a friend. Gentleman Randy, g'day. Gosh, it was Yowie country, absolutely, but didn't see any. Anyway, I think it was pretty heavy. It's got about a 4 foot flywheel, something like that. It's probably a 5-inch bore engine. And I picked it up for a friend. Hey, Nigel. And had it in the back of the van for a week. And anyway, last night I thought, well, stuff it. I'm probably not going to get as much time off this weekend as I want. And Fab, my colleague's going away to Italy for 3 weeks, and I've got 6-day weeks and stuff. So I'm really feeling that. So just in case don't manage to get the Shenandoah away on Sunday, which we'll see, I probably should run it down and get it out of the way. So run it down to Christians, which was at Lawrence, which is in behind McLean. There's a couple of river crossings and a sort of Yowie country. Unloaded it and unfortunately brought back a van full of stuff. So that's kind of the way it works, isn't it? Christian had a storage cabinet for the side of a van down there. It needs a little bit of work in that some of the steel work could be replaced, and it needs to be probably a fraction higher than it is, and it needs a little bit of panel work on it, and it needs some shelves in it. It's a welding job, I guess. But apart from that, it's got a good roller door on it and it looks pretty tidy. It could probably do with a sandblast and a coat of paint or powder coat or something. We'll see how we go with that. And then bolting in the ute, and that should in the van, and that should be a really useful thing to have. So anyway, that's laying down anyway in the back of the van, and we could go and have a look at that, but it's not all that exciting, to be honest. So that's another thing that's happened this week. Then I had Tuesday off, and I messed around putting stuff away and getting things done. We've got another phone call happening out there. Hey, Kevin. So Tuesday afternoon, I sat down and messed around with this and put those two faces on that casting, and I would have got the 4 holes or the 6 or 8 holes drilled and tapped very easily and been on to the next part, but got a switch problem on the mill, so that's something that needs to be addressed, and we'll do that. So it's still set up out there. I'm vacuuming the cast iron up a bit, but beautiful soft castings that all cast or machine really nicely. So sorry about the background noise. Anyway, we're getting there. I've actually started 3D printing proper patterns for these. A split pattern, I'm not sure, it's probably overkill, I reckon. But if we make a flat pattern, we can hold them up properly, and they have nice neat pattern lines and things. So, gonna make them. Got to make a replica. Oh gosh, I'm fumble fingered tonight. Got to make a replica of a Roby steam engine plate too. That's another casting we've got to do. And hi Matt. Yeah, I'm tired. And then the other casting is the top off the oil filler on the Robertson saw bench. So that's another job. So we'll get all them ready to go. I'll go up to the foundry one day and get them cast. We'll have a nice little box of castings here for bits without too many problems. I think that's the cheapest and easiest way. Joe offered to CNC them out of aluminium, and they'd be really nice like that. Like really they would. And it's not a big job, but I think casting them is probably cheaper because you're not paying for labour. I've dropped something else now. I'm not winning. I don't know what that was. No news on the bearings for the saw. No, I've hit him up again. I don't know. If anyone's around with an HBM machine or horizontal boring machine or a decent big horizontal mill, something like that can bore a couple of 3-inch bearings that are by about 210 mil watt long, hit me up because I'm sort of drawing blanks on them. I've got a gentleman lined up to do them, but he's kind of busy and he's got health issues. We'll see how he goes. I don't know if we've got a video or a telephone call out there, but anyway, someone's language isn't probably English as a first, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Apologies. Anyway, I'd very much like to get a few bits bolted on this casting. A few bolt holes and get the cylinder bolted on it and probably the bearing caps on it and get it bored and so forth. And look at these little valves. They're pretty ordinary, to be honest. If you sit around with a micrometer, they're within about 10 thou in diameter, something like that, 15 thou probably. They're all over the place. The heads are probably concentric, I'll give them that, but they're a much smaller diameter on this end than they are on this end, and they're generally a bit ugly, bad finish, and very difficult thing to make in one piece. So I've got a bit of silver steel, 332, and I might make caps for them. That's nice and straight and parallel. Might make little ends for them, silver solder them on, and then put them in a collet and machine them up. If we can get a collet that runs nice enough. Concentricity is fairly important with those bits. Anyway, as it goes, and if I don't get much done, I don't get much done, but I've got another job that I would have liked very much to have done. Another job I really want to do. I tossed up about whether these were surplus to requirements and I should take them to the tip, but I didn't. These boards with my stickers on them, you're all there, guys. There's one there at the top, Nigel at Go Create, Cam at Battler, Everett's Workshop, Russ Knox. Machine NZ's up the top, and so on and so forth. These will probably go on the back of this bench here at some point. I'm going to have to trim them down and do a bit of a job on them and get them fitted up nice. But that's the idea. They should fit under the air conditioner there nicely. And they'll provide a bit of a backsplash too. So that's a job for some time when I've got nothing else to do. Like turducken with more yowie, etc. Anyway, that's another project. Otherwise, it's just a matter of putting stuff away as we go and throwing stuff out that we don't need anymore. I actually got an offer tonight, which was my asking price for Princess Marina, my locomotive, and I really don't know whether I want to do that or not, to be honest. I'm seriously... I'm going to think about it. But it would probably put a DRO on the milling machine, and yeah, a few other things. Anyway, I did get an offer, so in interest of full disclosure, I'll tell you that I'm sort of considering it. But we'll see how we go with that. Trouble is, the guy who's building it will probably never get it finished any more than I will, or the guy that's interested in buying it. Well, he might, but he's already got one locomotive that's 3/4 that he hasn't made a lot of progress on, that's 3/4 finished. So I'll talk to him in the morning, see how we go. Yeah, I'm kind of... I put a price on it that makes me a little bit more keen than otherwise, but it's a big wrench to let it go, but it's... to take it to the next level and get it in steam, it's going to cost a lot of money. And I'm not sure I'm up for it, and I'm not sure I'm in a position to become a member of a club with a track for the long term, so that I got somewhere to run it, etc, etc, etc. There might be better things that I could put my time into, like a steamroller. Anyway, hey Paul. Oh. Anyway, it's another thing. Peter, that's terrible. Anyway, that's where we're at. Who else? James P was live on Instagram the other night. Well, yesterday morning. In my time. It was probably last night. We were talking about collets. I have an article by Rudy Kuholt in one of his books on making collets, which I've used several times. It's quite a good method if you want to make your own collet. So I'll go and get the book. We'll have a look at it. Do you like how I can just go in the other room and put my hand on this book? Very impressed. Good books, these. They were articles basically printed, same format, same style, everything, as Home Shop Machinist magazine. Very, very similar format. Most of the projects in these books you can see at the Miniature Craftsmanship Museum in California, which is worth a look if you ever get that way. It's sort of not exactly across the road, but it's just down the road from Disneyland. So if you're out there, it's worth a look. Lots of cool shop projects in these books. Things like little sign plate and rotary table. Droning rest, die holders, some information on setting up shop, and there's an article on make your own lathe collets. Raymond, they're not open Monday. Someone's not open Monday. So he sort of details making them in pairs and setting them up between centres like this, and then getting them concentric, you see, and then finishing them in the lathe, and how to split them and drill them and all those sort of things, drilling the backs of them and drilling the backs of them, all that stuff. I've used this technique for several things, and I'm going to copy this and stick it on Discord, and at some point I'll scan it. I haven't got to it yesterday like I promised, but I will. Haven't forgotten, James. What else is in here? Make an angle plate. It's quite a long article on making an angle plate. All the bits of it. Making a little mechanical rev counter It's quite a nice project that I never ever got to. It'd be a bit obsolete nowadays. How to make carriage stops. Cross-side stops for a mill. A lot of this stuff's geared towards small stuff, like shear lines, that sort of thing. How to make a mechanical stroboscope. There you go, because everyone will need one of them. Making a knurling tool. And all those sort of projects as well. So, good books. If you ever see them for sale secondhand, grab them. It's got an article on using the diamond tool holder, which is quite good. And there's a few steam engine projects and things in the back, just to keep you interested. Including this one here that sort of interests me quite a lot, actually. This little steam engine made from a Ajax pump. It's quite smart. Never ever managed to get that working or to think about that to any great extent, but it's all there. There's a hot air engine tractor, which is a bit more complicated project. There's quite a lot of that. Find the first page of it. There you go. The Stirling powered tractor is a quite smart little thing. Seen a couple of them built. It's quite a good design, I believe. But about half the book's devoted to making that, so it's a pretty big project. And it's a little job cement mixer if you want something for your engines to run. It's about, how big's the bowl on it? About 4 inches. 3.5, 4 inches. It's quite an interesting little project. But there we go. So the museum's not open on Monday. It's been a confusing sort of a conversation. Which museum are we talking about? It's not open on Monday. Can you clear that up? Sorry, Raymond. Well, there's a whole series of these, and they were basically pulled out of the articles from Home Shop Machinist magazine, which is a very excellent magazine. I've got a few years of them in there. There's a lot of cool stuff in that, but it was condensed into books, and you might as well have the books as the magazines. And anyway, I might grab a copy of that Making Collets article and I'll stick it on Discord and share it around a bit. What impressed me was I could just go in there and get that. So we must be getting somewhere near organised, I think. Maybe. The Miniature Makers Museum in San Diego is not open on Monday. No, I know that too. It's a Tuesday after summer bash job, so you've got to find something to do on Monday. It was usually a help stand clean up thing. And then on Tuesday, I've spent the last few times I've been in the USA, the Tuesday after summer bash, I've been to the Miniature Museum. I'm sorry you missed it. If you missed it on a Monday, I hope you went back, because honestly, it's an experience, and it's something I'm sorry. I really am quite sorry if you missed it. Excellent experience. I've been there 3 times, 4 times maybe. And I'd go again in a heartbeat. And most of the engines in that book are actually on display there. So I've sold a fair bit of stuff. I've sold a lot of camera crap, film and processing and darkroom stuff that I had here. Got rid of most of that. What else? I read quite a few books. I did move on my little hobbies or Goodall's Improved or Goodall Pratt or whatever you want to call it. Wood lathe that I restored a few years back. That went to a guy I've got to know fairly well. Pleased it went to a good home, but I'm sort of sad it's gone, but there's nowhere to put it here. What else? Move the drill press on because it's sort of surplus to requirement. What else? Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there anyway. A bit of stuff gone. A lot of woodworking tools. Quite a lot of woodworking tools. And the kick press is actually for sale for a couple of reasons. One is that I don't have room for it. 2, my mate John has just bought a hydraulic automatic job with die plates and everything. A 30 tonner that's all basically ready to do that sort of work, and I can borrow it anytime I want. And it's a bit better set up than the one I've got. And for 3, I'm not going to live long enough to use it. So there we go. It's for sale if anyone wants a kick press. And I've got a couple of people who are sort of interested in it. Apart from that, I took a load of assorted plywood and scrap and crap to the tip, and I took a load to 2 loads to Vinnie's to the welfare bins. A lot of stuff, and I've passed a bit of stuff on to friends, so I've got rid of quite a lot of stuff. Probably not enough yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Anyway, what's everyone else doing? What's in the big world of YouTube machinists? Who's posted a video? Who's actually got projects that is going down? Who's making stuff? James is just buying new machines, and that's bad news. Ross just got plans for a 4-inch Showman's. He's not going to live long enough to do that, but it's worth a try. Might as well sink some money and a bit of time into it and have a go. That's cynical, isn't it? That's so cynical. Go Create's building a diafiler. It's one of those tools. It's an awesome project, but it's a much better project than an actual practical tool, I think. Not going to rain on anyone's parade. But I think a little 1/2 inch band filer would be a much more useful thing in many ways. A die filer is useful for some things. Maybe this means that he's going to build a clock. I don't know. It's like the new ClickSpring videos of making the 3-dog faceplate. Right? This is this is my unpopular opinion here. Right? I've got a nice 3-dog faceplate. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is a 3-dog faceplate, right? This is quite a plain one, and this fits the big Lorch. It's quite a big one. See, it's in nice condition, and it's not a terrible thing really. It's got it works just the same as the one ClickSpring's built. And here's this for a WW lathe. Now, this tool is fantastic, but it's got limited usefulness, right? It's not really designed for a powered lathe for a start. If you're putting holes in watch plates on a WW lathe that's operated hand by hand, probably there's enough tension and torque in those 3 dive dogs to hold the piece central and to bore a hole in it. Right? On a powered machine, this is a little bit useless for anything bigger than, say, boring holes in Meccano gears or something like that. About 2 inches is probably the absolute maximum, and very, very light cuts. And you want everything anchored pretty good and so forth. But until you actually use one and get one and use it any length of time and put it in your memory, it's a very useful thing. And I sort of feel maybe a die filer is the same. I've got one half built, but hasn't happened yet. Maybe one day I'll get it finished. So I can't really talk. Don't know. Blondie Hacks is building a die filer too, so we'll see how we go with that. But I'd like to see Nigel's. I actually really would like to see Nigel's interpretation of it. Should be cool. Can't wait for the video, because we'll all watch it anyway. There's some tools that everyone goes ahead and makes, and ClickSpring's made a beautiful job of that little 3-dog faceplate, and it's really nice. But its usefulness is... You can't tell him that, because any video he makes with it will seem useful, because all the other footage will be removed. But you can't sort of say that's not a particularly useful tool. It's made an awesome project, an awesome video, but we really don't think you're going to use that, because he doesn't take that very well. Working through a PM Research number 7, that's a nice little engine. I helped my mate David Few down in Melbourne build a number 7. That's the twin cylinder one, isn't it? That's a very nice little engine, and well thought out, and it goes together pretty nice. Nigel's own design might be a bit more useful than some of the kits we find. David built down in Melbourne built one, and I gave him a hand with a few bits, and he sent me a set of drawings so I could sort of talk him through it, which is a bit pointless really because I've never built one. But I do have a set of drawings for it here, and it's quite a nice engine, and they're good drawings. They seem to be really good drawings, and it seems to be a fairly well designed little thing. Can't wait to see it running, Ross. Four-inch Showman's, more information. Four-inch Showman's is sort of a car trailer load or a bit more. I guess you realise that. You've been up close to one. It's a pretty big engine. Probably what I should have done. I looked very, very closely at some kits from England, basically mechanics assembly kits, one for a steam lorry and a traction engine, and decided for the money that I was going to spend, it was better probably to buy a full-size engine. Because my return on my investment was probably better, and I had something there was one available close by that sort of I was interested in, and I had some hope of actually sending it steam in my lifetime. Via Plaistow. So Plaistow's traction engines, it's Stewart, isn't it? Thanks, Peter. Appreciated. Yeah, Bridport Foundry. It's the other branch of Stewart Engines, I think. Anyway, that's quite a project. It is quite a project. You're going to need some big gear to do it. And yeah, I just decided that it was a bridge too far. And anyway, I bought a roller, and that was the end of that. And probably the end of that for the rest of my life. I've just got to spend the rest of my life getting the thing going. As anyone who's ever had anything to do with full-size steam can attest. Russ Knox, g'day. Very good to see you. Anyone else want a shout out link? Yeah, what's everyone doing? Figure out what you're doing with yourself, I guess so. I still need to figure out what I'm doing with myself, and it's too late really, because it seems like I'm maintaining and rallying a Fowler steam roller, which is 14 tonne of crazy ambition and cast iron. Anyway, that's sort of how it is. How Carter's going to make the shed? We're all doing that. That's where we're at. That's how this is too. And not doing particularly successfully. I'm trying to declutter as much as I can. Just tossing stuff. Russ Knox is working on the next video. It's a gear cutting video from Russ Knox this week. I think was it this week? Last week? This week. Good video anyway. Enjoyed it very much. That was your YouTube channel, I think, Ross. I think. Yes. Intervention is what we all need. You got no idea. So, actually, what I need is sleep, significant amounts of it, and yeah, diesel money, and what else? Yeah, more hours. More hours is really what I need. More hours for everything. But we'll see how we go with that. Hopefully this coming week we can get the switch on the lathe. I haven't got Tuesday off. I'm working 6 days next week, so I've only got Sunday and the following Sunday, so there won't be a lot of workshop time, but hopefully there'll be some sleep time. So that's about all that's happening. Haven't done any of the things that I'd said I was going to do this week. I've been and dropped off the steam engine, unloaded it with a tractor crane, and it's sitting in Christian's yard, so you can stuck with it now. And I've picked up some other stuff on the way back, which we will have a project and a video about. I'm not going to make any video about this, right, until maybe we get it running. I'd like to just finish it at my own pace and get in and do it without the video and just get my mojo back as far as making things. So I might show the bits as I go on live stream, but really it's just a matter of getting in and doing as much as I can on my days off with this as I go. So that's where I'm at. And probably not. Yeah, if I can get a bit of progress with it, if I can get the cylinder block and the head bolted on, and probably the big ends done. When we look at the bits that have been done, all over the place here. The valves are terrible, right? The valves really are terrible. None of them are parallel. The heads are ugly. That's just difficult. What other bits are we looking at here? This crankshaft is completely wrong. It's about, I don't know what the crankshaft's out of really. I don't think it can be saved. But it's about, I guess, it's at least 1/16 of an inch, probably a bit more, too wide in the journals here. And it's too wide overall. I think it's the right offset. It's a bit long. So I don't know what this crankshaft is. This might be just a test crankshaft or something. I don't know. But it's not going to fit this engine. And I'll have to make another one. Whether I fabricate it up like this or whether I make it from solid, I'm not sure. That looks interesting, Jim and Randy. Talk to your ex's place. We've all got exes like that. However they fit in the spectrum. Anyway, that's what's happening. Thanks everyone for joining in and coming and having a chat. I really appreciate that. This has been good to catch up. It's about the only social I've had this week, I think. I'm going to go and crash, I think, jump in bed. I think that's about as far as I'm going to get tonight. Get up in the morning at 6 o'clock or so and have a shower and go to work again as normal. And probably we'll see how we go. Come home tomorrow night. Well, might. We might do something else as well. We'll see. Join the Discord if you like. They're a crazy bunch. I'd like to spend more time there because they are good company. But this last few months I've been a bit absent. But Ross, I'd really like to keep us posted on your projects. If you want, we can make a actual page on the channel so that you can post regularly. The updates and things if you want to keep us updated. Be cool to get to know you all a bit better. Anyway, I'm out. Be kind to each other, and we'll keep you all posted with how we're going. Plenty of workshop therapies, excellent idea, Nigel, and plenty of sleep at the moment. It's really good too. I'm out. Thanks, guys.